I'm gonna try to leave my microphone clipped to my shirt because I'm kind of sick of holding it for my videos. But who knows? I'll probably end up holding it eventually. But anyway, hi, my name is Sage, Onyx, or Eden. You can call me whichever of the three. It is currently almost 12 a.m. and we have another, Onyx doesn't know how to shut the fuck up. So, today's video is gonna be a rant, not a rant, I guess a rant, a yap session about Yotha from Perfect 10 Liners. I, however, originally only planned to make this one video, but I was writing out like notes and stuff that I wanted to touch on about Yotha, and then I realized that half of it was literally just me talking about Yotha and Faifa as like brothers, um, and not like me like being like, oh well, this is why Yotha that. Like it is like there's a lot of it is, but for the most part, most of it is like Faifa and Yotha. Because I saw a TikTok video like a month ago or something like that, and it was someone saying that Yotha thought or said that Faifa was like incapable of love and incapable of being like incapable of loving someone and incapable of being loved, which that wasn't the case, and that sent me on a whole 2-part rant video on my TikTok, and I figured I just turned it into a YouTube video as well. So I have shit written down. We're gonna talk about it. I will do a part 2 of just me specifically centering around talking about Yotha. But right at this current moment, it's gonna be a lot of me defending Yotha, but also a lot of talking about like Faifa and how his character, certain aspects about his character are ignored. I'm gonna start this off by saying I don't know if we can consider my opinions about Yotha biased because Perth is one of my favorite BL actors and has been one of my favorite BL actors since 2022. But I don't think we can consider it biased because there are some characters played by my favorite actors who I would rather die than ever face because I would just want to fight them. Like, there are characters played by actors that I adore that I despise with a burning passion. Ergo, Top and Mew from Only Friends. Also, like, Book's character in Only Boo. Oh, that made me... I don't know his name. I don't remember his name, but he pissed me off. So I don't know if we can consider this biased. I don't know. We're gonna start yapping. I don't get personally why everyone fucking, like, not everyone, but people hate Yotha. I'm never gonna understand that because literally what the fuck is he doing? I have the same opinions about Tawan, who's also played by Perth, and me and T. What is that bitch doing? Nothing. But anyway. Don't worry, y'all. I will never make a video about Tawan because there's not enough of me to yap. There's not enough about Tawan for me to yap about. Okay? Not even in the book. But anyway. People act like Yotha is like the worst fucking character known to man. And I will never get that because why? Like, genuinely, why? He did some dumb shit. That's it. He's stupid. Yeah. He's fucking dumb. But people act like he's a kind of character who doesn't deserve any kind of redemption arc whatsoever. And like, don't get me wrong, there are some characters who don't deserve a redemption arc ever. Ergo Vegas from Kin Porsche. Kin from Kin Porsche. You know? Fucking half the characters from Dead Friend Forever. Tharn from Tharn Type. Konkla from Love by Chance. Yotha said that Faifa is incapable of being loved. Yotha said Faifa is incapable of loving someone. Incorrect? Shut the fuck up. Disrespectfully, shut the fuck up. Because that's not what the fuck was going on. That is not what the fuck is going on in Perfect 10 Liners. Whatsoever. I don't know what show y'all are fucking watching, but it's definitely not Perfect 10 Liners. And it's definitely not episode 17 of Perfect 10 Liners. And I'm gonna say something here. Okay, maybe I shouldn't be making a video about this, because I'm gonna expose myself. I have not watched 17 through 24 in full. I've watched 1 through 16 in full, and I've skimmed 17 through 24, 23, whatever it was, 24, because I was looking for Yotha gun and arc arm, like, crumbs, okay? So I don't have the full story about Faifa wine. Okay, but I think from what I know, and from what I've seen in edits, what I've seen in, like, scenes in, like, Yotha gun's arc, and the little I've seen from Faifa's arc, and the reaction videos I've seen to Faifa's arc, is Yotha. It's not that Yotha thinks that Faifa is incapable of these things. It's that Yotha knows that his little brother is capable of these things. But he also knows that his little brother doesn't think he himself is capable of being loved or loving someone. We know Yotha has a fucked up perception of love. We know this. That's literally half of his entire. That's half of 17 through. What? That's half of 9 through 16. Is you like seeing Yotha's character and seeing all of the things he's went through and like blah blah blah. You know, all of the shit. But guess what? Faifa also has a fucked up perception of love because of his parents. And I don't think personally. Now again, I haven't seen his arc in full, so correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't personally think that Faifa was as deeply affected of his parents' divorce like Yotha was. And if he was, he is just not as vocal about it, because Yotha is vocal about everything. Well, not everything. But you know, like, for the most part, he's vocal about these things. Okay? But do people acknowledge that Faifa has a fucked up perception of love? No, they don't, because why the fuck would they? Why the fuck would they? But like I said, there's a difference between Yotha saying he's incapable of this, and Yotha knowing that his brother thinks he's incapable of these things. Yotha just knows that Faifa needs to find that person who can do those things for him. He knows that his Faifa has to find, like, that specific person for him to realize that he can be loved and that he can love someone. In episode 17, Yotha literally tells Gun, it's like towards the beginning, I think it's like right after the like opening credit scene of episode 17, Yotha literally says, I hope someone comes in to take care of his feelings for him, just like how Yotha has Beagle by his side. Where the fuck did Yotha say that he doesn't think Faifa can do these things? When? Never. We acting like he's some selfish, horrible person. Like, horrible, insufferable person. No, Yotha cares about people. Yotha cares about people. And, like, I've said before, where it's like, Yotha is the kind of person who's like, I'm mean to everyone but the person I like. That's every single character that Perth has ever played ever. That's just Perth's typecast. Get over it. Get over it. That's Perth's typecast. That's going to be Perth's typecast forever. Except for in Love You Teacher. I don't know about Spooky Love Tale. I can't tell y'all about Spooky Love Tale yet. I have to finish reading that shit. But anyway. I don't know why no one talks about Fai's, like, fucked up perception of love. I will never get it. Because we talk about Yotha's. Understandable, we should talk about Yotha's, but we should also talk about Faifa's. Faifa isn't a character who is just kind of there. You know, and, like, doesn't get, like, a main thing or, like, a main storyline. No. He has 8 episodes to himself about him learning about these things and everything like that, you know? It's just Yotha's perception of, like, his skewed perception of love is more touched on. Because Yotha's more vocal about it, and because Wa is a big problem in the show, we're not gonna talk about Wa from the novel. I haven't read the novel yet. I can't find the novel anywhere, but aside from Kindle. But anyway, we're not gonna talk about Book Wa. I haven't read Engineer Cute Boy, but I know some things about him. Was such a major part of episodes like 9 through 16 as well, which is why, like what I just said, it's talked about so much more often. We're only going to use the series version because the book version of Law doesn't need me to talk about him. All in conclusion to series like book version of Law, he fucking sucks. But like so does series version of Law. But anyway, Faifa is a people pleaser. I think that's more talked about than anything else involving Faifa in his personality. But anyway, Faifa is a people pleaser and he wants everyone to like him. That's obvious throughout the entire series. That's obvious. He always wants friends. He's driving everyone around. He's doing nice things for people all of the time. Faifa's never been in a relationship prior to Wine, like Yotha has. So he doesn't have this like he has skewed perception, but he doesn't have a double fuck perception of what love should be like. Relationship wise, like romantic relationship wise, because if like I think he still has the double skewed perception of love, but not relationship like not romantic relationship wise, more so mommy issue wise. Yotha has been in a relationship before Gun, okay, and that's the fucking problem. That's the whole issue. That's the whole problem. Okay, if while it wasn't an issue in Yotha's life, like wasn't a part of Yotha's life, Yotha would have figured out his shit a long fucking time ago. You know, so his view of love is already destroyed. Like, it's already fucked. After his parents' divorce. And then he dates Wa. Causing him to be under the impression that what they have is, like, romantic and it's love and all of this shit. But it turns out that's not the case. It turns out it's not any of that shit. It turns out it's strictly platonic. Turns out it's strictly platonic. So we have parents' divorce. Fucking him up. Wa fucking him up. Even more. So, like, the divorce, like, fucked it up. Right? Like, fucked it up. But there was still, like, there was possibly still some hope left. And then Wa destroyed it completely. As Wa says in the series, I don't know, as series Wa says to Clow, which controversial opinion, I actually like Clow and Wa in the series. This is probably not going to be word for word, but from what I can remember, this is what Wa tells Clow. I destroyed Yotha's world. He destroyed Yotha's world. He destroyed it. He destroyed Yotha's world. People like to ignore how deeply Yotha, like, that divorce. I'm gonna say the word divorce a lot, so sorry. Take a shot every time I say divorce. Don't, you'll get alcohol poisoning. Most people in the series ignore how deeply the divorce affected Yotha. Everyone ignores that. And by everyone, I mean certain characters in the show and the viewers. A lot of people treat him like he's some scary, like, fucking heartless, selfish bitch who doesn't give a fuck about anyone but himself. And that's what some people who watch Perfect 10 Liners do. The only 3 people who tried to understood that I fucked him up was Gun, Wa, and sometimes Fai. I have my opinion. I don't hate Fai. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate Fai. I think he's adorable. I think he's hilarious. I think he's a sweet angel. However, there are certain things that Fai says that I don't agree with when it comes to Yotha. I don't know if that's going to be talked about in this part. It might be talked about in the more Yotha-centric part. Like, more Yotha-centric video. The part 2 to this, right? Okay? There are certain things. There are certain things that Fai says. Faifa sometimes feeds into the rumors that are spread about Yotha. You know, the whole, oh my god, he's scary and he does this and blah blah blah. Like, Faifa feeds into that. No hate to Faifa, he's a sweet baby, but, like, he feeds into that. And, like, I know for the most part it's a joke, But, like, I feel like that also, at most, has to piss Yotha off. Because Yotha can deal with bitches he's never met before, never spoken to. Saying, oh, he's so scary, he's so terrifying, like this. He's so mysterious, emo, broody, whatever the fuck they want to call him. But his own little brother doing that? But besides the point. Besides that, with what destroying Yotha's world completely, there is no way in hell that, along with that, there were parts of Yotha that were destroyed in the process of what doing this thing. Like, destroying things that Yotha thought he knew about himself. Destroying the image he had of himself. Stuff like that. Yotha's insecure. Act surprised. Oh my god. A Perth character being insecure about something? Love by Chance paved the way for that. Anyway. And because Faifa has never been in a relationship before Wine, he doesn't have the double skewed perception like I said. Right? He's just like, okay. Well, my mom and dad split, and that's, like, pretty much that. There's not much I could do about it. Like, it definitely hurt him, but, like, he was just like, well, I can't really fix that. I would probably he'd probably like to, but he's like, I don't know. And then it's like, boom, your mother's taking you. Boom, your mother's taking you away from your two older brothers. Another thing is that, which I think this is probably the most talked about thing than anything else about Faifa's character, is that he was a fucking pawn. He was a fucking pawn by his mother, because his mother is such a selfish bitch. Like, cool, you, like, don't want to be with your husband anymore, that's fine. You can divorce him, that's cool, whatever, do you, queen. But, like, taking your kid, when you have 3 kids, and you leave 2 with your ex-husband, and you take one of them, not because you want to spend more time with them, not because you love them, and, like, this, blah, blah, blah. No! The only reason you take your fucking child is because you know that if you take that one specifically, he's gonna want to see his older brothers. Meaning you have, like, a green light to visit them. So you can go see your favorite fucking child. So you can go see Yotha specifically. Specifically, she only gave a fuck about Yotha. Let's talk about that too. She only gave a fuck about Yotha. She only gave a fuck about Yotha. Only gave a fuck about Yotha. Didn't give a fuck about Faifa. I highly doubt she gave a shit about Newton. And that might be because he was probably he's the oldest. So, maybe his brain was more mentally, he was more developed or something like that. So she was like, oh, well, it's not going to affect him that bad. No, she didn't give a shit about any of her other kids but Yotha. She didn't give a shit about any of her fucking kids. You know what? Honestly, for being honest, there probably would have been, there's probably, like, something in her who also doesn't give a shit about Yotha. Like, their mom fucking sucks. But anyway. When your mother fucks up so bad, it's gonna sit with you. It's not just gonna go away after a couple days, a month, a year at most. No, it's gonna stick with you. Especially when you're younger, and especially when you're old enough to remember what actually happened. I don't know how long Faifa was with his mom. I think it was 4 years. I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong. Faifa was with his mother for however many years it was. But long enough that you should remember certain things about your fucking kid. If not everything about your kid. But what she didn't remember that her own kid was allergic to cow's milk. She didn't remember that her own child was allergic to cow's milk. We want to talk about selfish characters and perfect 10-liners? Talk about Yotha's mom. Talk about their mom. The fuck? You can see it in Faifa's eyes. In that scene, because it's in Yotha's arc. It's in Yotha's scene. Like, Yotha's segment. You can see how fucking devastated and hurt Faifa was. I've talked about, not like on here, but I've like on TikTok, I've talked about characters having inferiority complexes, and then my example of that would be like Hida Kazunori from My Beautiful Man. Favorite Japanese BL of all time. Right, but like, whatever the fuck is wrong with Hida, love Hida. But Hida has an inferiority complex, okay? Raging inferiority complex. Okay? I don't think Faifa has one. But I do think that there are times where Faifa genuinely believes he's not good enough. Yotha has to think the same way. Yotha has to think the same way. They're like 100% Yotha thinks the same way. Okay, especially after he meets Gun. Like, seeing, like, the sunshine of the world. Like, the just lovely, you know, amazing, smiley, happy sunshine of the world. There was no way in hell that Yotha didn't think that he wasn't worth Gun. Like, quite literally, he tells Gun, if someone else, like, is able to love you before I figure it out, or whatever the line was, you promise me you can go, like, you can go to them. And proceeds to take back that statement because he'd rather die than not have Gun by his side, but anyway. Back to what I was saying. I don't think Five has an inferiority complex, but I do think he's insecure about some things, and I do think that there are times where he genuinely does not believe he is good enough for anyone. Because if he, like, in his mind, if he isn't good enough for his mother to remember his allergy, which, if you're gonna remember anything about your kid, it should specifically be that and, like, their birthday, you know, their favorite food, then he wouldn't be good enough for anyone. Like, just as I've said 80,000 times already. He doesn't think he's capable of giving or receiving love. Because his mother fucked him up so bad. It has, like, maybe it wasn't as prominent before he finds out that his mother only took him because she knew he would want to see his brothers. Okay? You know, maybe there's, like, that possibility. Where he's like, well, you know, like, I'm still not good enough. But it's not as, like, deep-rooted, I guess you could say. But when your mother, the woman who birthed you, who's supposed to take care of you and protect you and love you, doesn't remember this, or does something so genuinely fucked, it's gonna ruin your self-image. That, like, it's gonna happen. I, personally, believe that Faifa liked wine the moment he saw him. The moment they met. Which, I think it shows, if I can speak properly, I think it's in episode 1 that we show Faifa meeting wine. Or it's like, if not the first episode, it's definitely sprinkled within, like, 2 through 8 of the series. Because, you know, the first arc has this weird, like, timeline jump that it does. I think Faifa was, like, already in love with wine. As soon as they met. I just don't think he knew that he was. I think he was just like, I just want to be friends. Like, oh, he seems nice. I kind of want to be besties with them. Even though he starts like doing like giving wine like some sort of special treatment. I don't really know exactly what the special treatment was, but it was definitely something. But then Faifa not knowing like the meaning of special or like giving someone special treatment, whatever like that it was. He was just like, well, I treat everyone the same. So he's like, I treat everyone the same. So what if I add another person? Who cares? He seems nice. I kind of want to be besties with him. That's his mindset. Even though I know, the viewers, I would assume, know that he is in love with wine. You know? Like, just adding another person to the never-ending list of people he wants to be friends with. It's nothing special, right? Right? Yotha wanted his brother to find that person who could make him realize that he was capable of the very things he thought he never would be. Yotha just didn't expect it to be his mentee. And like I've never seen like videos on TikTok or stuff like that where people are like, "Oh, well, if Yotha wants his brother to like find love or something, why is he so adamant about Faifa not getting with his fucking mentee?" I don't really know how to like. I don't really know about that section. I don't know if there's people like that. There could be. I'm not sure. I've never came across them, and if there is, I hope to God I never come across them. But like, I don't know. He didn't expect it to be his fucking mentee. He didn't expect it to be mine. He's like, I want my brother to find someone. I know my brother just needs to find that someone. I found that someone. I'm confident that he can find that someone. It just so happened to be his mentee. It just so happened to be his mentor. His mentee. It's like, yeah, Yotha's gonna be a little protective. Because it's funny. Like, he's gonna be a little protective because, like, when it comes to this whole mentee-mentor thing, you know, you're supposed to, like, take care of your mentee. Like, you know, take them out to meals occasionally, like, do things for them, whatever the fuck you want to do. Yotha didn't do any of that, but Yotha didn't do any of that, because why would he treat anyone why would he take care of a random stranger? Why would he take care of a random stranger? He has his adorable ass boyfriend to take care of. He has his adorable ass puppy boyfriend to take care of. Why the fuck would he need to take care of anyone else? You know, especially like a stranger. Like, yeah, he's gonna take care of like his brothers. But like, why would he take care of a complete stranger? He doesn't even want anything to do with fucking the perfect 10-liners. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. But like, there's gonna be some sort of like, I was about to say maternal instincts. Incorrect. Parental? I don't really know how to explain it. I don't really know the whole thing. I don't understand the mentee-mentor thing. I don't give a fuck about the mentee-mentor thing. But like, there's gonna be a kind of thing where you're like, maybe I don't want my brother, you know, dating my mentee. Specifically because Faifa is so energetic, and Yotha can tell that wine is like very calm and like introverted. Well, is he introverted? Yotha sure as fuck is. You know, but he gets to like, you know, wine is like quiet, not really like, I don't know. I guess we always need like the calm chaotic brother. Like, Faifa's chaotic. And I mean that lovingly. Like, I don't mean that in like the annoying way. But he's chaotic. Sometimes Faifa could possibly be a laugh for people. You know, like, I wouldn't say he's annoying. Like, I don't think Yotha genuinely finds Faifa annoying. You know, it's just kind of the whole sibling thing, like, oh my god, you're so fucking annoying, like, shut the fuck up type shit. Like, you know? Like that. But, like, it is funny that it just happened to be your mentee. You know, Yotha didn't give a fuck about this mentee shit, but he's like, well, I guess I'm kind of responsible for him. So I guess I gotta do something. Faifa, don't date my mentee. Please don't date my mentee. And then never, like, he gave up. And it wasn't even, like, oh, like, don't date my mentee. It was more just like, Faifa, calm down. And then, like, literally, I think it's in, like, Faifa's 3rd episode or something like that. I'm not sure because I haven't seen it in full. Yotha was just kind of like, sure, I guess. I'll just give wine to you since you take care of him anyway. You take care of wine, I'm gonna go take care of my man. I thought this video would be a lot longer, to be honest. I haven't stopped recording at all yet, and like we're reaching like the 35-minute mark. Damn, maybe I'm getting better at getting my shit together. That's probably because I had shit written down. But anyway, yeah. I hope any of this made sense. I feel like it didn't. And I definitely wrote shit down in a certain order and then kind of jumped around and said, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But anyway. Oh well. I'm not going to record this again. My name is Sage. Again, my name is Sage, Onyx, or Eden. You can call me whichever of the three. My socials will be in the description below. I don't know what the next video is going to be. Maybe it's the part 2 to this. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But, yeah. Take your meds. Drink your water. Even if you have drink. Even if you have drank? Drink water even if you already have. Eat food. Or get a snack. Have a good day, evening, morning, night, afternoon. I think that's everything. Is that all of the things? See you whenever I see you. Bye!